Okay, quick video on dimensioning. There are two kinds of dimension. There's size dimensions and location dimensions, and both of them you can see on the screen right now. This one here is a size dimension. It is telling Inventor the size of this feature. It's saying that this circle is 0.3 in diameter. These two over here are showing where the circle is, or location of the circle. So this one here is saying from the center of the circle over to this edge, so this way, left and right, it is 0.25 inches from the edge. This one here is saying from the center of the circle to this top edge is also 0.25. You will tell that something is fully locked down with the size and location whenever it turns black. If I were to delete this right here, how am I going to get out of the dimension tool? If I were to delete this right here, whoa, not that, just this, you'll see that it turned blue. So that means it's not fully constrained, it's not locked in place. So when I add that dimension from here to here, one click, two clicks, and then come up and do a third click, now you'll see that it turns black, meaning that it is fully constrained and it can't go anywhere. So you want your shapes of the circle, of any tabs, any voids, to be black. That means that they are locked in place. Next thing is, you can move things with dimensioning. So let's say I put a sketch on here and I draw a rectangle somewhere over here. All right. Now, I would want to dimension this. You can see that it's blue. You don't want blue shapes. You want black shapes. So let's dimension this. So let's say I want this rectangle to be 0.5 inches. Okay. And I want it to be 0.1 inches tall. Now, it is not touching this, and there are some different ways to do that to make it touch that. Okay, you could add a dimension from here to here and say 0. Another way is these things up here. We haven't really talked about this, but these are constraints, and there are different constraints that do different things. These just kind of lock your design in place certain ways. So the one we would use on this is this first one right here. It's called the coincident constraint. You can see that it constrains points to other geometries in 2D sketches, meaning that it makes things touch and stay touching. So what I would do here is I would click this, I would click on this point, and I'd click on this line. It's going to make those things stay touching. Okay, so now they are locked in place. But it's not completely black. You can see that it's black up here, but not on the sides because it's not, the location isn't locked down. So what I would do is I would add a dimension from here, so one click, over to here or the corner, doesn't matter, either one. Click again, go up, and click. And this, it just depends on where you want it. If you want the thing centered, you got to kind of do some math in your head. The whole thing, the whole distance there is 2 minus the 0.5, so that's 1.5. And if some math is hard to do in your head, okay, we just know we want half of 1.5 because we want half it on this side, half on this side. So you could do this. You could say 1.5 / 2. Or you could take 0.75 if it's math that you could do in your head. But that is going to move that thing over to where it is centered. So there is a move tool. It's just not as easy to use. If you can figure it out and do it, then you can move stuff. But you also need to make sure that you lock things down with dimensions and then maybe constraints if you need to.